Charlie Kirk rose from the quiet neighborhoods of suburban Chicago, a place where traditional values and community ties ran deep. Over time, he would become a defining voice in American conservatism, inspiring a new generation to engage in the political process. Kirk grew up in a middle-class family, far from the world of political dynasties or inherited influence, learning the importance of hard work and perseverance from his parents. He became an Eagle Scout, a distinction that reflected his early discipline, leadership, and commitment to service, qualities that would later define his public life. During his years at Wheeling High School, Kirk's growing concern over what he saw as a leftward shift in American culture and education fueled his political awakening and sharpened his sense of purpose. After not receiving an appointment to West Point, Kirk made the bold decision to forego college altogether. Instead, he dove headfirst into activism, rejecting what he saw as the increasingly liberal environment of academic institutions. Kirk believed that the real fight for his generation was happening online and in grassroots organizing, not just in lecture halls or traditional classrooms. Determined to make a difference, he set out to build a movement for young conservatives who felt alienated by academia and mainstream media, giving them a platform and a sense of belonging. This vision, born in his teenage years, would soon reshape the conservative landscape, leaving a lasting impact on American politics. At 18, Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA to mobilize young people around free markets and limited government. He saw conservatives losing ground on campuses and built TPUSA as a bold, disruptive force. The group's rapid growth, slick branding, and controversial initiatives like the Professor Watch List made it a campus powerhouse. TPUSA's confrontational style brought conservative speakers to liberal campuses and created viral moments online. Kirk expanded the movement with Turning Point Action, taking the fight into electoral politics. This evolution made TPUSA a major player in national politics and cemented Kirk's status as a conservative power broker. Under his leadership, the organization became a central force in the MAGA movement. Donald Trump's rise in 2016 was a turning point for Kirk and TPUSA. Kirk became a key Trump surrogate, using his platform to mobilize young voters and defend Trump's agenda. His influence peaked after Trump's 2024 victory, earning him a speaking slot at the second inauguration. Kirk's media empire, anchored by The Charlie Kirk Show and millions of social media followers, amplified his reach. He mastered viral messaging, shaping conservative narratives and rallying his base. By 2025, Kirk was building international alliances, positioning himself as a global conservative leader. His ambition was to unite nationalist movements worldwide, a project cut short by tragedy. Kirk thrived on controversy, believing the culture war demanded confrontation, not politeness. He saw every debate as a battleground where only the loudest voices could be heard. He promoted Trump's election fraud claims and led the Stop the Steal movement, energizing supporters and infuriating critics. His rallies were a mix of fervent support and intense opposition, reflecting the deep divisions in the country. Kirk's rhetoric often crossed into inflammatory territory, with statements on Islam and race sparking national outrage. His comments were designed to provoke, ensuring he remained a central figure in the media spotlight. He targeted cultural icons like urging Taylor Swift to reject feminism, igniting fierce backlash. His attacks on celebrities were strategic, aiming to draw attention from their massive fan bases. For Kirk, outrage was a tool, attention meant power, and he kept his message at the center of debate. He understood that in the age of social media, controversy could amplify his reach. His strategy alienated many but galvanized his base, making him a lightning rod in American politics. The more polarizing he became, the more loyal his followers were. Kirk believed winning the culture war was essential to political victory. He saw cultural dominance as a prerequisite for any lasting political change. The risk of condemnation for him was worth the influence he gained. He was willing to be controversial if it meant staying relevant and influential in the political arena. Charlie Kirk's life came to a sudden and violent end at just 31 years old, when he was shot while delivering a speech at Utah Valley University in 2025. The shocking incident unfolded in front of a packed auditorium, sending waves of panic and disbelief through the crowd and across the nation. News of his assassination reverberated instantly, dominating headlines and highlighting the deep, persistent divisions that have come to define American society. For many, it was a moment that underscored the volatility of the nation's political climate. In response, President Trump ordered flags to be flown at half-staff nationwide. Tributes and condolences poured in from across the political spectrum, with both allies and rivals acknowledging the magnitude of the loss. To his supporters, Kirk became a martyr, a fearless leader who gave young conservatives a sense of voice, belonging, and purpose. Vigils and rallies sprang up in cities across the country, as many mourned the loss of a figure they saw as a champion for their generation. Yet critics viewed him very differently. To them, Kirk was a divisive provocateur whose rhetoric and tactics only deepened partisan rifts and inflamed tensions in an already polarized nation. Regardless of perspective, Kirk's impact on American politics was undeniable. He transformed youth engagement, mobilized a new generation of conservatives, and became a central figure in the MAGA movement, shaping its direction and energy. He leaves behind a grieving family and a political movement now facing an uncertain and challenging future, unsure of how to move forward without his leadership. Charlie Kirk's legacy remains fiercely debated to this day, but his influence on the trajectory of American conservatism and youth politics is certain to endure for years to come.